Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, and welcome everyone to this practice today. Our practice today, we're going to draw upon the summer solstice energy. The summer solstice is we're kind of in that period, the gateway towards the summer solstice, and it also happens to be Juneteenth. We'll talk a little bit about Juneteenth. It's the US. When the Emancipation Proclamation was read out in Galveston, Texas, on 19th June 1865, some 2.5 years after abolition of slavery. So we're going to draw upon some reflection on Juneteenth, and also think about how we can be drawing upon the light of the summer solstice. Let's bring our hands into Surya Mudra. So fold in the ring finger, which is the earth element, and take the thumb, which is the fire element, to the knuckle of that ring finger. So this is the sun seal. Palms face up, eyes closed. Now let's commence by grounding and rising here. So let's bring awareness to all the points of our body that are in connection with the earth. The feet, perhaps the knees, the shins, most certainly, the sit bones, the pelvis, the hips. So this lower part of our body connected with the earth. Let's root and ground here. So engage all of the muscles of the lower body, contract everything in, and then let's release and soften the lower body. Now notice how the spine grows out of the pelvic bowl. The sacrum, the lumbar, the thoracic, the cervical, the head, the crown of the head. As you breathe in, lift and expand. As you breathe out, ground and contract. It's opposing energy of pulling and pushing, of expanding and contracting, of lengthening and strengthening. Breathe deeply into the heart space, all the way down to the diaphragm. And perhaps you place your fingers at the lower ribs here, so you can feel the expansion of the breath. Notice how the rib cage expands and opens. How it softens and draws in. Let's start by Bhastrika Pranayam. It's bellows breath. And we're going to pump the air into our lungs and expel the air. So both the inhale and the exhale are active. And we're pumping almost like you pump the bellows or the bagpipes. So the breath is quite loud and audible. You can feel and see the expansion of the lungs. It's pumping action in the lungs. Quite a full breath, quite a strong breath. It will make you feel a little lightheaded. If you begin to feel lightheaded, return to long, slow, deep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. And then take a breath in. And return to your natural rhythm. So a very strong breath to start with, really pumping us up, preparing us for our practice, turning everything on. Our mantra for today is the Gayatri mantra, evoking the earth, the realm, and the heavens, the sky above, bringing to mind the radiance of the divine truth and allowing that truth to inspire our illuminations, our reflections. We'll do call and response so that you can learn the Gayatri mantra. The Gayatri mantra is one of the oldest mantras from the Rigveda. Inhale to prepare. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo na pracodayāt. Dhiyo na pracodayāt. Let's chant together twice. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo na pracodayāt. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo na pracodayāt. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo na pracodayāt. Om to the crown. Om to the eyebrow center. Om to the heart. So when we practice at home, how life practice, we can expect interruptions. It's returning back to our sense of presence, of connection. So we're approaching this point halfway through the year in the Northern Hemisphere, when the sun comes to stand still in the summer solstice. This is when the earth is closest to the sun. We will have the longest day, the shortest night. Summoning the joy of the summer season. Moving through the gateway to the rest of the year, through this solstice portal. Let's place our hands on our knees and we'll do seated cat-cow. So draw the navel in towards the spine, and as you inhale, reach forward with the heart open across the heart. The sternum lengthens, the collarbones open, the shoulders draw down away from the ears. As you exhale, really pull the navel back, tuck the chin, rounding through, parting the shoulder blades, opening the gateway of the back of the body. Inhale to shine forward. Exhale to round back. 3 more like this, and I'll turn to the side so you can see the movement. And when you've done your final one, let's return to neutral spine. Take a moment here, and here we're going to move into Sufi circles. So you can stay seated on your block or blanket for this if it helps, or you can come directly to the earth. I like to keep my spine lifted here. Let's go over to the left. So your Sufi circles can be subtle or generous, depending on how you feel today. We're working very much with the element of fire, tejas, Agni, representative of the solar. And let's swap and move this rotation in the other direction. These are also called circumductions. I call them Sufi circles because of the influence of Sufi Islam on the practice of yoga, especially Bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion, of poetry, of mantra. Let's come to stillness when you're satisfied here, having done both sides. Let's place the left hand on the earth and reach up and over. Bring your Surya, the sun seal, to your hand, reaching up and over to the left. And feel the breath passing here. Create all that space in the intercostals. Through center, up and over to the right. Through center one more time. In fact, let's do it twice and 3 times. We're going to move in cycles of 3. And as you move through center, lengthen arm up. So create as much extension through that transition through the middle. So that will help to really create as much space on the lateral side of the body. When you've done both sides 3 times, let's come to center. Take a moment here, reach up, gaze up, exhale over to the left in your seated twist. The sun seal mudra with the ring finger folded in and the thumb resting on it. This is to demonstrate, symbolize the power of the sun, the radiance of the sun over the earth's body. Back to center after having done both sides. Let's cross our arms. So place the left hand onto the right upper arm and take the right arm across your body. Take a moment here. And now let's come into eagle arms, Garudasana. So fold, bend the right arm back to the center, and then take the left hand and place it either to the back of the right hand or wrap that left fingers around the palm of the right hand. And then lift your shoulders here. So you'll be either hands, backs of hands together, or fingertips on palm. Garudasana arms, eagle arms. Lengthen the spine here. Opening, again, we're opening the portals of the heart here, opening the back of the heart here. Let's release that arm. Let's take the left arm across our body. Again, you can place that right hand there on the shoulder to really help that arm cross over. Now, when you're ready, bend into the left elbow. Either take the back of the right hand to the back of the left hand or wrap the right fingertips around. And then lift the elbows so they're parallel to your shoulders. Garudasana. Eagle arms here. And one more breath. Let's release the arms. Open them out. Let's do Earth Sky Pranayam. Inhale to reach up to the sky. Exhale, float the hands down towards the earth. Inhale to rise up towards the sun. Exhale to reach down. Om bhūr svaḥ. Savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo pracodayāt. Hands come together above the crown. Exhale, palms to your heart center. Balancing here just for a moment. Before bringing your hands down to the earth, come onto your knees on all fours. Brahmarasana, table pose. Let's prepare for cat, cow, Marjariasana, Decolonising here. Spread your fingers wide. Claw through the hands. So press through the finger pads, through the knuckles, at the base, at the top of the palm, the heel of the hand, and the outside edges of the hand. And your palms are slightly lifted here. Your fingers are clawing here. So if I can show you. So my hands aren't straight, they're clawing. So I'm using the strongest parts of my hands to connect with the earth here. Toes untucked for the moment. Draw the navel in, lengthen the crown, lengthen the tail. So let's pull the crown and the tailbone as far away from each other to create that extension, this counter-reaching motion. Inhale, lift the tailbone. So the movement starts always at the tailbone here. Dip the lower back, draw the shoulder blades together, open the heart, lift the gaze. Marjariasana, cat, cow. Tuck in the tailbone, round through the spine. Tuck the chin. Vityasana, 3 cycles here with your breath. Inhaling to lift the gaze. Exhaling to open the shoulder blades. And keep that navel active. Draw the navel back towards the spine. Hug in the midline here. So knit the ribs in towards each other. And then when you lift open, sense the opening here. And when we've done 3 rounds, let's come to stillness. Take a moment here. Left under the center of your mat. You can take your knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch. Inhale, draw the right arm up towards the sky with your Surya Mudra. Thumb on the knuckle of the ring finger. Exhale, thread that right arm underneath you. Bring the right ear and shoulder either to the mat or to a cushion or a folded blanket. Left hand, walk that arm forward and come up high on your fingertips. Bring the awareness of the breath today, particularly into the right nostril. Inhaling, focusing on the inhale and exhale through the right nostril. We're still using our left. The awareness is to the right. It connects with Surya Bedana, the solar breath. Inhale, let's reach that left arm up towards the sky. Perhaps you turn your gaze towards the sky. Breathe into the rotation here. So you'll feel a twist here across the thoracic, across the rib cage here, across the heart. One more breath here in this Parivritasana, Parivritta Balasana. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Inhale, reach up with the right arm. Take that right hand to the lower back. Perhaps you come up high in your fingertips here. And open the right shoulder here just for a moment. Turn your gaze down. Bring the right hand to the earth. Let's take the left arm to the sky. Open up across your heart here, my friends. And when you're ready, let's exhale and thread that left arm underneath the body, left shoulder and left ear to the mat or to a cushion. extend that right arm along the earth, come up high on your fingertips. So you maintain this opening here. Again. And it might be easier to sense the breath in the right nostril now because we're opening on the right side. You might find that one or the other of your nostrils feel closed. The breath alternates. Every hour and a half, we tend to switch nostrils in terms of the dominant nostril. Inhale, let's reach the right arm up towards the sky. Come into your Surya Mudra. Perhaps you take your gaze up towards the sky. Open that right shoulder up towards the sky. And draw the navel in. Press through the big toes into the earth as well. To maintain that connection. As you exhale, let's bring that right hand to the earth. Inhale, let's lift the left fingers up towards the sky. And here, my friends, let's bring the left hand, to the sacrum, fingertips high. Open the left shoulder, lift your gaze up. Turn your gaze down, bring your hands to the earth. Let's take a moment here. Bring your knees in so that they're parallel. If you need to pad your knees at any point, always take care of your joints. Claw again through the earth with your hands. Inhale, let's reach that right leg long. Flex the foot. Draw in the navel, lengthen the crown here. Sardhulasana, tiger pose. If you're ready, you can reach forward with your left hand, left arm, balancing here. So counter reach again here, this opportunity to counter reach through the left fingertips, reaching forward, through that right heel, reaching back. One more breath here. Bring the left hand to the earth, bend into the right knee, lift the right foot up towards the sky. Perhaps you bend into your elbows, lower your heart towards the earth, and then rise up. Bring that right knee in towards the heart, round through the shoulders to open the shoulder blades. And then bring that right knee to the earth. See how your wrist is feeling, especially your right wrist. Rotate it one way, then the other way. Re-engage, claw through your finger pads and your knuckles. Align the creases of your wrists with the short edge of your mat here. When you're ready, let's extend that left leg long, flex the foot. Engage the core, press through all of the points that connect with the earth. Contract the muscles by drawing them in towards the bones. So you feel active and engaged here. When you're ready, shift the weight into the left hand. Remember, the more you claw the earth, the less the weight will sit into your wrists. Reach forward with your right arm long. And again, counter reach here. So imagine that you're really drawing the two apart. Balancing tiger, Sardhulasana. When you're ready, let's bring that right hand to the earth. Bend into that left knee. Lift the left toe up towards the sky. Lower the heart down towards the earth by bending into your elbows. And then when you're ready, rise up. And if your foot go off balance, just come back into the center by hugging everything in. And let's bring that left knee in towards the heart. And then lower the knee. And now you might want to sit back on your heels and rotate both wrists one way, then the other way. Back onto your hands. Let's extend the legs, untuck the toes, phalakasana. You can be in half phalakasana, ardha phalakasana, or you can extend the heels, be in the angle with the support that you need. The angle of the front body is shoulders aligned over the wrists. Wherever you are, hug in the navel to the spine. Lift your crown so that your crown is reaching forward. One breath here. Now, I'm going to demonstrate with my knees on the earth first. So here we're going to lift the left foot off the earth and lower, then the right foot. And if we have both legs, both knees lifted, lift the left leg and then the right leg. And let's do this 3 times on both sides. Engage the upper arms. Hug in the muscles. Lift the leg on the inhale, if that helps. One more breath. Oh. And then let's all come to our knees. Sit back in child's pose here. Let's take our arms as wide as we can. Take a moment here. Just doing some priming here. We're just preparing our body for this active, dynamic energy of the sun. In illumination of its highest radiance in terms of how close we are to the sun. Inhale, lift your third eye. Let's come back into phalakasana here, or keep the knees on the earth. Yogi's choice. We're going to move into side plank here. So, my friends, let's bring the right hand to the center underneath the heart. If you are keeping one knee on the earth, tuck your toes and spread, take your left leg long behind you and bring the sole of the foot to the earth. And then lift your right arm to the sky. If you are moving into side plank with both knees lifted, lift back into plank. Walk your hands to the center of your heart and then turn onto the little toe side of your right leg and draw your left arm up. So we'll be in one of 2 places. One more breath here, whichever variation of side plank you are in. Turn your gaze down towards the earth, bring the left hand down and either roll onto the balls of your feet or come back onto both knees. Let's take a moment here. If you would like to rest in child's pose, balasana here, take a moment, and it might help to take your arms alongside your body so that you release the wrists for a little while. Let's take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, re-extend your arms, lift your eyebrows center, come back onto your knees here. So again, let's go through this stage by stage. If you're keeping the left knee on the earth, bring the left hand to the center. Rotate your heart to the right side and extend that right leg long, bring the sole of the foot to the earth. And then draw that left arm across your heart to reach up. This is a supported variation. Engage your muscles wherever you are. Draw in the muscles, draw in the core, hug to the midline. Feel the connection through your hands and feet and shin on the earth, and then lift, have the sensation that you're rising up from the earth. One more breath, whichever variation you are in. Turn your gaze down towards the earth first, followed by your right arm, rotating your heart, rolling onto your toes, and then coming onto both knees. Let's take a moment in child's pose. Hands alongside your body. Eyebrows center on the earth or on a cushion or a folded blanket. And soften here for a moment. So we were talking about that it's also Juneteenth. That it took 2.5 years for the news of the emancipation of enslaved peoples to reach the deep South states such as Texas. As it served the interests of those states to deny the democratic decision, the humanitarian act to free peoples who were enslaved for generations. So this is a day for not only honoring, reflecting, but also for remembering that freedom is hard won and needs to be won again and again and again every day. So drawing on the light of the sun to illuminate the truth, so that the truth may inspire our actions. Inhale to rise up from Balasana. We're going to tuck our toes to rise into mountain. Let's lift the knees. Keep the knees bent for a little while. Hover here. And then take the tailbone and the hips back towards the wall at the back, or whatever's behind you. And then pedal your heels. Draw in the navel. Let's walk your hands all the way towards the middle here of the mat. So you're coming into a functional forward fold. Bend into your knees and shift your hips back. So having this soft bend in our knees or a deep bend will help to lengthen our hamstrings. Breathe into, so remember that bellows breath that we started with. Let's think about the Bhastrika. Let's adapt that into a decompression breath. So take this full breath, expand the sides of the ribs, expand the space at the lower back, at the sacrum. We're not going to pump the breath here, but we're going to take the expansive nature of the breath into the lower lungs. We're going to have a more natural rhythm of breath here into the lower back. Take a moment, gaze towards the top of the mat, walk your hands all the way back. Let's wrap the hands around the back of the calves. You might heel toe your feet a bit together. You might cross at the elbows. You might cross at the wrists. Let's come into a very deep forward fold here, Uttanasana, so that your abdomen is either resting on your thighs or resting between your thighs if you want to create a bit more space. Remember, always take space where you need it for the parts of your body that need more space. When you're ready, my friends, let's release our hands. And we're going to walk our hands all the way back, forward, so we come into mountain again. Reach behind with the right leg. Bend into the knee and step the right foot forward between your hands. Let's bring that left knee to the earth. Take a moment here, and then let's rise up into our lunge. Keep the toes tucked here, the left toes tucked. Right hands on top of the right thigh, just behind the knee. Lengthen here. And let's bring the hips and pelvis back a little so we engage our calves. Let's hug the legs in towards each other. So isometrically, we're drawing the thighs towards each other. We're drawing the feet towards each other. So we're hugging everything in here. We're lifting from the hips and pelvis up. Take a moment here. And then let's sink into that right hip. Open out your arms by bending the elbows, spreading the fingers wide. Sunbeam arms. Gaze up, draw the shoulder blades together. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Take a moment here. And now if that left knee's on the earth, we're going to lift that left knee, or you can choose to stay where you are. Balance here. If you want to bring your hands to your hips to lift, please do that. Sunbeam arms here. Inhale, rise up. Arms reaching up. Right leg straightens through. We're high on the balls of our left foot. You can also do this motion if you're keeping the left knee on the earth, reaching up and then sinking into the hips. So sink into the right hip. And then when you rise up, bring the pelvis back to neutral. So this is an option for that left knee on the earth. My friends, be where you wish to be with respect and honoring of yourself. 3 times here. One more time, elbows bent. Take a moment here. If you have that left knee lifted, let's bring that left knee to the earth. Hands down to the earth. Take a moment here to rest. Place the left palm on the earth. Inhale, reach the right hand up towards the sky in this side twist. Bring the fingertips high onto the lower sacrum. Open your heart towards the sun. Freedom, illumination, emancipation under the summer solstice. Turn your gaze down towards the earth. Bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Lift that left knee and let's step forward in forward fold. Again, wrap your hands with oil around the back of the knees or the ankles. Forward fold here. Draw the navel in. One breath. Release the ankles. Inhale, let's unfurl the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time to rise up into Tadasana, standing mountain. So open your palms here. Lift your toes and then place them on the earth one by one. Bend into your knees. Imagine you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Imagine that you are drawing the legs in as close together as you can by activating the muscles, and then lift up through the midline here. Draw the shoulder blades down. Draw the shoulders down, the shoulder blades coming closer together. Find your drishti, your focal point on the horizon where the sun rises and sets. We're going to do 3 rounds of half sun salutations, Ardha Surya Namaskar. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, palms together in Namaskar, folding down towards the earth. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can be on shins or fingertips on the earth or even hands on the thighs. Wherever you please, my friends. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend into your knees. Let's rise up towards the sky. Urdhva Hastasana, hands in Namaskar at the heart. That's one round. So I'll guide you through. We're going to rise on the inhale and fold on the exhale. Inhale to reach up. And you can do Surya Mudra here. Exhale to fold down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending into your knees, rising up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. One more time. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, namaskar, hands fold. Body folds. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending your knees, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment here. And then let's reach up. Come down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's step back long with the right leg. Bring the right knee to the earth here. Inhale, rise up. Hands on your knees. Now let's align here. Keep the right toes tucked, right knee on the earth here. Draw the navel in. So let's ground down in the lower body first. So connect with the four corners of the left foot, the big toe mound and the inner heel, the little toe mound and the outer heel. Hug in the shin and the calf. Hug in the thigh towards the right thigh. So now both legs are coming together towards the middle, hugging them in. You can feel the muscles activating. Take the hips and pelvis slightly back. Take a moment here. Open out the arms by bending the elbows, fingers wide. Exhale, sink into that left hip. You can stay here. We're going to rise and fall. Sunrise, sunset here. You can keep that right knee on the earth, or you can lift up and then reach up through the fingers, straighten through the left leg, bending elbows, bending knee. If you are on the earth with the right knee, we're going to be sinking into that left hip and then coming more back to neutral for the rise. So you're going to be in one of two places with that right knee on or off the earth, my friends. Let's do this 3 times. The sunrise, the sunset of the summer solstice. As the sun rises, we have illumination of the truth. We are able to reflect as the sun rises and falls. This connection between the earth and everything between earth and the skies and the heavens. All these different planes of existence. When you've done your rounds, let's bring that left knee to the earth where it's lifted, hands down to the earth, plant the right hand. Inhale, draw the left fingertips up towards the sky in Surya Mudra. I have mentioned Surya Vedana to remind us to bring the awareness to the right nostril breathing today. Bring that left hand, fingertips high on the sacrum, open out the left shoulder. One more breath here, gaze down. Bring the left hand to the earth, lift that right knee, and let's step back long and come into mountain here. You may wonder why we're not doing our Surya Namaskar today. Because it's not necessary to do the complete sequence in order to activate the fire element, to connect with the sun. We often feel like unless we're sweating and burning up, we're not practicing with the fire element of the Surya. this engagement of the muscles, this contraction of the muscles, where we hug them all in towards the bones, draw the navel in. So really hugging into the skeleton will help us to activate. Let's walk your hands back halfway to come into this functional forward fold. Bend into your knees and take your hips and pelvis behind the heels. Fingertips either on the earth or on blocks. Breathe into this back body here. Lengthen the space between the ribs and the pelvis with your breath. One more breath. Walk the hands back towards your body. Heel toe your feet in if you would like them to be a little bit closer. Hug in, back of knees or back of ankles by crossing the elbows or crossing the wrists. Deep forward fold, Uttanasana. One breath here. Release the hands. Unfurl your spine to rise up one vertebrae at a time. Standing mountain Tadasana. And come into your alignment here. Lift the toes, place them on the earth one by one. Open up the fingers. So you know all the actions from the toes all the way through the body to the crown to engage here in standing mountain. Let's chant our mantra here. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ tat savitur vareṇyaṃ bhargo devasya dhīmahi dhiyo yo na pracodayāt. Take a full breath in. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come into chair pose, Utkatasana. So bend into your knees, tailbone reaches back, hug in the navel. Arms can be up by your shoulders or parallel to the earth. Sorry, up by your ears. Take a moment here. And from here, we're going to bend into our elbows to come into sunbeam arms. So if your arms are parallel, you can come into sunbeam arms here. If your shoulders are up by your hands are up by your ears, open out your sunbeam arms here. One full breath here. Draw the navel in. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, come onto your knees. Untuck your toes. Let's sit back on our heels in Vajrasana for a moment. If you want to pad your knees, you want to pad the inside of your ankles. So if it feels really uncomfortable on the inside of your ankles, because it might feel very tight here, roll up blanket and place it so you pad it so that you can still keep as much of that so it's not uncomfortable for you. Here we are. Bring your hands together in Namaskar at the heart for a moment. Open out your arms in sunbeam arms. Fold in the ring finger for Surya Mudra. Draw your shoulder blades together, open your heart, lift your gaze. And now take your hands, reach behind, interlace all your fingers. Perhaps you release the index, lifting your gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Eyebrow center reaches the earth or a blanket or a cushion here. One full breath here. Then inhale, leading with the crown, the eyebrow center, the heart. Coming back up. Release your hands back into sunbeam arms. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your gaze. Open your heart. Then hands in namaskar at the heart. Take a moment here. Release your hip to the earth. Let's come into Sukhasana. So we're not going to come lying down to the mat today. We'll do that next practice. I want you to come into Sukhasana because we're going to practice our Surya Bedana Pranayam. So coming into your seat here. Surya Mudra. Thumb on the knuckle of the ring finger, which is folded in. Closing your eyes, or perhaps taking a neutral gaze towards the horizon. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Now bring the awareness to the right nostril. We're going to practice Surya Bedana Pranayama, Bedana, or Surya Beda Pranayama, sun breathing, solar breath through the right side, which connects to the Pingala Nadi. This is the side that is most active, most dynamic, associated with the qualities of the sun, the element of fire. Let's bring one of your hands, your dominant hand, into Vishnu Mudra. So fold in the little and ring finger, fold in the peace fingers, which is your middle index, extend the little finger and the ring finger, and extend the thumb. And then bring your hand in front of your face. Let's close the left nostril. And then inhale in and out of the right nostril. So let's take it, in order to prepare, full breath in, full breath out. Cover the left nostril. Inhale right. Exhale right. That's another tip. Blow your nose first, especially if you have hay fever. Otherwise, this will tickle your nose and make you sneeze. But that's good because it's clearing out the air passages. All right, let me start again. If you sneeze, my friends, bless you. Cover the left nostril. Inhale. Right. Exhale right. Now, if your right nostril feels blocked and it's really difficult to breathe, then take the other hand, the peace fingers, and take the fingers from the nostrils and follow the cheekbone so that you pull the skin away and up, and this will open up that passageway. So try that by lifting the skin underneath the cheekbone up and out. That might open up that right nostril a little bit more for you. Now, you don't have to cover the left nostril. You can also just focus the breath on the right nostril. And in doing that, you will notice that you have this sensation of taking more breath in through the right nostril and the right nostril. The reason we're practicing this with the right nostril is so that we can connect with this sense of the energy of the solar side, which is held in the nadis of the Pingala Nadi. Pingala Nadi weaves its way up through the chakras and passes through the right nostril. So this is where stimulating the energy associated with that. It's dynamic, active, radiant, illuminating, potent, fiery, driven, transformative. It is energy of change, of transmutation, transformation. 3 more breaths here, inhaling right, exhaling right. One more breath there. And then let's release the breath, return to your natural breathing. Let's place your hands on your knees, closing your eyes. Let's meditate here for a moment. Reflecting on anything that has been illuminated, in which the light of the sun has shone. When the truth finally reveals itself, as it did on Juneteenth, as it does in the summer solstice. This is the solstice, the still point of the sun, its cusp and midnight, the year's threshold and unlocking, where the past lets go of and becomes the future, the place of caught breath, the place of caught breath. This is the solstice, the still point of the sun, its cusp and midnight, the year's threshold and unlocking, where the past lets go of and becomes the future, the place of caught breath. Reflecting, meditating. This point of stillness, in which we can look inward in order to gaze outwards, acknowledging the infinite source of the energy and the light of the sun within our lives. We'll close by chanting the Gayatri mantra, and we'll do call and response once and then together twice. I thank you for joining me in mantra. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo yona pracodayāt. Dhiyo yona pracodayāt. Hands to the crown. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Hands to the eyebrow center. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Hands to the throat. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Hands to the heart. Dhiyo yona pracodayāt. In reverse. Om bhūr bhuvaḥ svaḥ. Tat savitur vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo devasya dhīmahi. Dhiyo yona pracodayāt. Om Shanti. Shanti. Dhanyavad. Thank you.